Hello everyone, Mercurial Girl here, and today I wanted to talk about Mercury in retrograde. Maybe you've heard this before. It's used as a very common excuse when we are in the period of Mercury retrograde. All kinds of funky things can go down. So I wanted to really bring that to light because we are nearing a retrograde if you're watching this close to when it was posted. And I'm going to spend the last couple minutes of this video going over the current retrograde. But I wanted to also explain what Mercury retrograde means in a bigger picture. So about 3 to 4 times a year, Mercury goes into retrograde, which means it appears to be going backwards from the Earth's vantage point. Now, people that are ruled by Mercury naturally, which is definitely me. That's why I'm called Mercurial Girl. So Virgo and Gemini placements, if you have a lot of those in your birth chart, when Mercury retrograde comes, I really feel like it's the universe just being like, shh, please, just rest. You think all the freaking time. You talk too much. You have too many ideas. We just need to like calm you down. Honestly, it's probably because it's for the rest of the world to like catch up, you know? Side note. But Mercury retrograde, what it is doing is it's basically taking the planet that rules communication, how we learn. It also rules technology and has a sense of travel behind it. It takes this planet and kind of like shakes things up. And so when a planet is going into retrograde, a lot of the energy of that planet that we normally can put out really easily all kind of pulls us inward. So we're really not able to have the same kind of output. It draws us into deeper reflection. It makes us think things through, and it can I feel like I always have technology problems every single time Mercury retrograde happens. Nothing wants to work. My phone will not work. I've had my podcast not be able to post. We literally plan for the retrogrades because it happens without fail. And a lot of times just things will fall through. If you are trying to really push and go during retrograde periods, it's like you just can't get your brain to work in the same way, especially for Virgo, Gemini placements, regardless of what sign Mercury retrograde is in when it goes retrograde. So that's the other part I want to talk about. Although there's this classic presentation of Mercury retrograde, every single one is going to manifest and hit slightly different. This is because we want to look at our own personal birth chart and then the transits that are currently happening in the sky and see where Mercury is kind of landing and how it's interacting with our natal planets for that retrograde. So what you want to search is a current transit list. So here's an example of mine. And then you want to see on that outer circle, which house is this retrograde going to land in? So for instance, currently our Mercury retrograde is going to go in through Capricorn, and it's hitting my personal 5th house. So because of that, a lot of the energy of the retrograde is going to be a lot more around my goals, being business oriented, figuring out where I want to take my business, where I want to go with it. And so it's not going to be me implementing a lot of those ideas. It's going to be me sitting with them and reflecting with them, refining them, and kind of getting a better grip on where I want to take all that stuff. And then my 5th house is my house of creativity, self-expression, pleasure, and figuring out how I can mesh kind of those two energies together and really go after what I want. So I'm going to use this Mercury retrograde, as I always do, to reflect, really pay attention to what feels like it's being slowed down. I always take note of that because I feel like it shows where I sometimes over push energy. And then it also helps me just kind of sit and pause and get a little bit more clear on where I want to take things. So if you're watching this between 12/29/2022 and 1/19/2023, this is going to be our period for the last retrograde of 2022 and the first one of 2023. And as I said, Mercury is going to be in Capricorn. I showed it in my own personal chart. So Mercury is in Capricorn for everybody. Now, as I said, this kind of is going to take that internalized energy on what your goals are, what your ambitions are, where you need to slow down, where you need to refine and figure out why you're doing what you're doing, where you're trying to head, what checklist are you trying to accomplish right now? Like, what is it leading to? What is all the work you're doing for? Like, really getting clear on that stuff, but knowing that you don't have to push into those goals, especially it's most likely not going to happen within this little period. You're called just to sit with it and let yourself like meditate on it and refine it and journal about it and reflect. Look at what house it's in. Once again, all of the different houses have different energy. I have videos up on the different houses. You can also just do a search and kind of get a general feel for what those houses mean. And I can put a little guide below as well. And then to take it just even one step further. Now, this Mercury retrograde is also going to hit a little different because we have a lot of other stuff going on in the current sky that is to be noted. First of all, we are in Capricorn season already. We just had our new moon in Capricorn, and then we have this Mercury retrograde happening in Capricorn. And all while this Capricorn energy is happening, we are still in a Mars retrograde in Gemini, and this retrograde has lasted a little bit longer, and Mars has just been in Gemini for a little longer and still has a little ways to go. So because Mars is the planet of drive and ambition and actually making us do things, it's our energy, it's already been kind of pulled back and giving us like tons of thoughts and tons of ideas. So I think this Capricorn energy might help us just kind of refine it slightly, because Gemini can be all over the place and a little manicky. But it's still going to be hard to take the action that we need to take in this Capricorn season as efficiently as we normally do because of this other retrograde happening. We also have Jupiter that just went direct into Aries, which is really cool because that gives us some ambitious energy. Jupiter's the planet of luck and abundance. Aries loves to charge and go after what they want, but we're not really being able to like fully charge. So it's coming. We have these retrogrades that we're going to play with. So there can be some conflicting energy within. So as always with astrology, don't take things personally. Don't get so harsh on yourself. Learn to witness what is coming up and see what it's bringing up for you. The universe is always trying to teach us lessons in the stars. If you want a personal birth chart reading and you want to know just like what your natal chart means, go into a deeper dive. I offer one-on-one birth chart readings at sensefulwellness.com if you want to book with me, and I will see you next week for more Mercurial Girl. Keep checking out my videos, keep liking, commenting, subscribing, and thank you for being here.